What's going on, everybody? Dave here, the Reef Aquarium shop in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are live. That means it's Monday at 4:30, at least our time anyway. You could be watching from anywhere, and welcome. Thanks for joining. If you haven't done so yet, hit that, I always forget which side I need to because it reverses. Hit that subscribe button down there if you want more content like this. Not only do we, if this is your first time here, welcome. Not only do we do live on Mondays like this, we also post other content as well, like how-tos, product reviews, and things of that nature. Also, if you're interested in our store and want to go check out our Facebook page, we go live every Thursday over there twice, well, sometimes twice, in fact, from both the freshwater and the saltwater sides of the store, and we kind of just give you room tours and show you all the new fish that came in throughout the week and all the stuff that's still there and looking good and whatnot. So if you're into that, check out our Facebook page as well. You can find us there on Facebook, obviously here on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us all under TheReefIndy. Pretty easy. And we also have a website if you want to check that out, TheReefIndy.com, which actually I was about to show you before I get into this week's topic, which is what to do if the power goes out in your house. Like, what do you do with your fish tank? There's a lot of different things that you could do and whatnot. But before we jump into that, again, just plug in all of our social medias at TheReefIndy and TheReefIndy.com, which I will show to you now. Here is TheReefIndy.com. You can do nifty things like check out our weekly in stock. This is all the new arrivals that we get throughout the week. You're seeing this massive list. This is just the new arrivals from last week. This is updated every Friday with just new arrivals. This is not near a full stock list of what we have. And you can see last week was a massive shipment for both saltwater and fresh. So you can see we break it down into fresh, plants, salt, and whatnot. You can also actually request an appointment through our service department through the website itself, and things of that nature. Ooh, did we get new things up here? We did. And Brandon didn't even tell me. Hot dang. All right, so if this wasn't supposed to be announced yet, too bad, because it's live. But like just last week, and I did not go live last week, just kind of following through with the holidays. We were kind of taking it easy. We didn't go live on Thursday. Obviously, that was Thanksgiving. And then that Monday, we didn't go live either. So we went live last week on Thursday, and we are back here on Monday. But I'm very excited this is a surprise announcement. Normally, all we were selling in our shop currently were gift certificates. Now, if you've been following along, you know that we've been kind of gearing up to do way more products on our website than just our gift certificates, which are actually just only redeemable in our brick and mortar store. You can't use them online. So it was great for locals and Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and stuff like that. It's awesome for that. But again, we want to expand. And apparently we have. Starting right now, you can actually get, let's follow through with this. I say starting now. Add to cart. Added. Hot dang. Okay, cool. So if you go into the shop, you can now get Neptune systems through our website, which is super, super exciting. And as you can see right here, that does include the Trident analyzer. And I believe we are in stock of the 6 month. This is the 1 month supply that it comes with. But I believe we are in the 6 month in stock of the 6 month supply, which a lot of people are looking for. So Heck yes. Yeah, there's all of our available stuff currently from Neptune Systems. And this is going to be expanded a lot in the very near future. Not only are we going to offer gift certificates and our personal merchandise, like our t-shirts and hats, hoodies, beanies, and things of that nature. We're going to offer all of that, but we're also going to be offering our favorite products from the store. And if you've ever been into our store, you know that like we're packed full of products wall to wall. So if you come into our website, what we want that to be is kind of just a highlight of all of our favorites, kind of the more higher end stuff. We're going to have the Neptune Systems. We're going to have Bashi. We're going to be doing our own aquascaping packages here, released very, very soon. And then we are so close, you guys, to being able to do corals, doing what you see, what you get on our website, which will bleed into live plants as well. So keep checking back with our website, TheReefIndy.com, for more and more items. This just in. We now sell Neptune Systems on the website. So get in on that. And Brandon's going to probably see that there's something cute in the cart and be like, who's in the middle of buying something? I'm not buying it. All right. So cool. So that's that. Very excited about having Neptune Systems on our website now. New things going on in the shop. Not a ton. We are constantly getting in our shipments through the week, but there is nothing out of the ordinary happening. No new upgrades next door as of yet, except we did upgrade our camera system, I suppose, but that's not necessarily for you guys. That's more for us. But yeah, there are still upgrades going on behind the scenes, even when you can't see them going on in the store. But something that is going on in the store currently is all of our Black Friday sales are extended through Christmas, and we've been announcing this since the beginning. So this should come as no surprise unless you hadn't heard before. But all of our Black Friday sales are going through till Christmas. If you want to go to our Facebook page or the last live video that we did, you can check out all of the Black Friday deals there on both Facebook and here on YouTube. So go check that out. And again, they're going all the way through till Christmas. So come in and take advantage of that. Warehouse wise, we finally have, speaking of plants, we finally got our plant system set up for propagation. So in the farm where we propagate all of our corals and things of that nature, corals, and we're doing a lot of algae, like macroalgae and things like that we're starting to get into. But now we're doing live plants in there as well. Finally have our system set up. And I'm going to be, that's kind of going to be the end of upgrades there in the warehouse or in the propagation facility, at least for a little while. So I will finally be able to release this video that I've been making for months, well, shooting for months, showing you the process of how we upgraded that room. It's a lot. We moved a lot around. We cut a bunch of plumbing around. It's cool. I'll have to show you. So look forward to that coming up here. Probably the end of December. I should have that coming out. I'll have another video coming out on YouTube at the end of this week. So again, look forward to that. And with that, I am going to jump over into our comments section, and it looks fairly active. What's going on, everybody? Brian says, hey, Sergeant Bassfisher feeding his Goniopora right now. Excellent. What are you feeding your Goni? I would love to know. Ryan says, I need to break a scape down for a new build and need to find a place for fish and some parts. Do you guys take fish and some plants? Do you guys take fish and plants? Ryan, yes, we do. We do ask that you call the shop ahead of time and work that out with either Brandon or Emily. Brandon's the general manager. Emily is the room manager for the freshwater side. Deb for the saltwater side. So whether you're watching and needing this information for salt or fresh, just talk to management over there and let them know. That way they have the heads up and can let you know if we can actually house the things. I'm sure I am familiar with your tanks, so I'm positive we'll be able to house anything you have. You're not trying to bring us any monster fish there. So yeah, just give us a call and I'm sure we'll be happy to help you out. And yeah, so again, welcome everybody. That's going to do it for the opening comments. I do love to treat these as an open Q&A. So even if it's just like you're the only person commenting and asking questions, it's a great one-on-one conversation. So if you have any questions pertaining to the aquarium hobby or the topic there in the title, which is what to do if your power goes out with your tank, very important to know. But yeah, drop them in the comments if you have any questions, and I will be happy to answer those as I come across them and find them. Sergeant Bass Fisher. Sergeant Bass Fisher is feeding his Goniapora reefroids with water from thawed mysis. That's a good idea. Mixing your reefroids in like the after water from the mysis. The corals are going to suck that up. Good thinking. Good thinking. I kind of, so that's like the 1-2 punch in one bundle. What I'll do is the 1-2 punch, the Reef Nutrition, I'll do Phyto Feast and Oyster Feast. And if you drop, which is it first? I believe if you drop Phyto first, is it Phyto or the Oyster? Shoot, it's been a minute. But you basically drop, I think it's Phyto in first. And that gets them kind of open and up and going and feeling around and absorbing things. And then you like 30 to 60 minutes later, drop in some Oyster Feast, and the absorption rate is like doubled for the Oyster Feast. And that's actually a tip that I got from Reef Nutrition themselves. So if you're using those products at all, give that a try and do like one up for the Phyto up front. Wait a little bit and hit up the Oyster, because the Oyster Feast is a little thicker. So sometimes they miss that and it just ends up running through your filtration. So yeah, give that a go. Let's see here. Ryan says propagating plants immersed or submersed. Yes, so we're talking about when we just set up our plant propagation section over in the farm where we do all of our coral propagation and things of that nature. Right now we're doing submersed propagation, but we did kick around. We were thinking about one way or the other. Do we need to do this immersed? Should we do it submersed? And it was hotly debated. At one point, we even thought of going tidal with it and having just having it drop the water level automatically throughout the day, giving us a nice strong root system with the benefits of having them kick off submersed growth. So a lot of things going around, but right now everything is completely submersed, and we will be expanding that in the future. We've got 2 60-gallon tanks that we have on top of each other, and room for a couple more like trays, I guess, under that stand and under another stand. So we will be expanding. I think once we do those trays, we're going to do a few things immersed, but we haven't decided exactly yet. We're doing a lot of buse propagation right now, a lot of bulbitus propagation. We're just trying to find things that were a little more difficult to find currently, and just start growing those out so that people can get a hold of them. It's going to take a minute before we're actually ready to start kicking this stuff out, but because literally we started last week. Yeah, I would just, if you're trying to do this yourself, there's a lot of pros and cons either way, between submersed and immersed growth, and how to propagate, and and reasons to propagate under those situations. But again, for now, we're doing submersed. Lumberzack, do any of your freshwater fish come from local breeders? And I keep forgetting that I have this feature right here. Yeah, absolutely. Like 90% of our axolotls come from local breeders. A good portion, I would say, like 75 to 80% of our endler species come from local breeders, and things of that nature. A lot of live bears. Those are super easy to do, and a few of your cichlid species. Yeah, we definitely get in from locals as well. Most of our yellow labs are from local breeders. But yeah, we get plenty of stuff from locals, as long as it's good quality and all that. We still want to pay attention to those things as far as the quality of the specimens coming in. Local breeder does not always mean you get great quality, but all of the breeders that have brought stuff into us have been fantastic, that we work with on a regular basis anyway. Because yeah, you'll have your random donations and things like that. I'm not including those, but yeah, a lot of our fish come from local breeders, but we just have such a massive turnaround that we will still supplement even the types of fish that local breeders are bringing in. We'll typically have to supplement with other things from like suppliers and all that. Branded Charmer getting into the meat of the things here. Going off the title, for power outage, I have my tank plugged into a UPS battery. Excellent. It has proven itself during power flickers, but we haven't had anything major since I got it. I just jinxed us by saying that. Yes, you did. Stop. But no, Branded Charmer, bringing us right into what I do want to talk about for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and get in that. But again, while I'm talking about power outages and what to do with your tank, if you have any other questions, even if they're not pertaining to that, please go ahead and drop them into the comments below, and I will get to those as I see them. Ryan, yeah, Buse is a fantastic idea. Local Buse is definitely a great idea. And yes, definitely seeing that they are getting wiped out in the wild, and that is rabbit hole again, but that's fine. That is something that we try very hard to do here at the Reef Aquarium Shop. A while back, we started changing the way we do live rock. And not only because we had to, we were starting to do this beforehand, but we were, hands were forced with the ban of import of live rock into the country. Or anywhere, I think. I will actually be doing a special on the specifics of laws that involve the aquarium hobby, hopefully very soon, probably sometime January, February. But a lot of laws affect our hobby. But yeah, because we couldn't bring in live rock, because we were we were taking apart the reefs trying to get these things in, we have started aquaculturing our own. There's a YouTube video that we posted not quite a year ago, but almost a year ago, when we started aquaculturing this live rock. We just got a bunch of it in. We after the ban and live rock got shut down, we bought up in mass everything that was already here, that we could find, from neighboring cities to neighboring states even. And then added that to a bunch of good aquacultured rock that we brought in, already aquacultured, that had been sitting off a reef intentionally, or off a what is the word I'm looking for? It wasn't sitting on a reef, but anyway, it was sitting on a coast somewhere, and just getting all that good stuff going in it, and we brought that in. So again, that's just one thing that we definitely strive to do, is to not rely on the wild for what we want to do. Again, with our live rock, and yes, with the Buse just disappearing in the wild, that's definitely something that we want to start propagating ourselves, and being much more sustainable. But yeah, thanks for that comment, actually, even though that was a rabbit hole. That one guy says battery-powered air pumps running sponge filters is another great idea for power outages. You are absolutely correct. So normally I don't get into this spiel until like springtime, because around springtime, especially where we are in the Broad Ripple area of Indianapolis, power outages happen all the time. Like 5-6 times a year, we will get like a full-blown power outage some years, and that's not even including like the flickers and brownouts and stuff like that. That happens all the time as well. So at the shop, we have big generators that we will bring in and run everything if we're down and know we're going to be down for an extended period of time. But it's not quite springtime yet, but you can still run into that issues once, oh my goodness, it hasn't started yet, but once this starts snowing and that snow and ice weighs down those lines, you can definitely end up with power outages. And when it's cold outside, that makes it even worse. So things that you can do to prep is absolutely that one guy and Branded Charmer both have fantastic ideas and methods to help with a power outage. But having a battery backup is awesome. We have them on a lot of our clients' tanks out in the field that we go service, and on a few things in the shop as well. But having a battery backup is awesome, especially if the power goes out and it's only for a little while. Your tank will continue to run all the way through that, and you're not going to have to worry about it. Just make sure it's something that's going to be larger, that's going to be able to handle that load. And you can find these battery backups at like a lot of times you can find them at Lowe's, but mostly like computer stores. That's kind of what you're going for, is something that's large enough to handle all that power. But having a battery backup, and usually what I do at home is I do the method that one guy is talking about, having the battery powered air pumps. And I usually don't necessarily attach them to air or sponge filters. But that's a fantastic idea, just to keep your filtration going. If you're going to do that though, it'd be beneficial just to have those sponge filters running already. And then once you realize that the power had kicked off, move your battery backup line to your original sponge filter line, and that's going to help keep your bacterials steady. Otherwise, just pop some diffusers on the end, air diffusers, just the little air stones, stick it on the end of the line. And usually what will happen is how they're set up for the most part. You'll plug this battery operated air pump in, and when you plug it in, we've had some people bring these back because they were so mad about this because they didn't realize it was for outages. So you plug it in and put the batteries in, and when your power goes out, it senses that the power has gone out and kicks those batteries on. So you do have to have a dedicated plug for that. But again, that senses when the power goes out, kicks that pump on, and you keep your water moving. And if you don't do this, if you don't keep motion in your water, you're going to lose all your oxygen out of there. It's going to become stagnant, and your fish will go down very quick. You're just going to see them start gasping. So we'd want some sort of motion. In an emergency situation, I have literally told people to stir their tank that didn't have something going like this and weren't able to get it. I literally just agitate the surface of the water, and that'll help. You're gonna have to do that frequently if you don't have something doing it automatically for you. But yeah, so those two things are key, is having some sort of battery backup, and or some sort of battery powered air pump to keep your water moving. So that brings us on to our next point. Especially since we're talking about wintertime coming up here, or we are in the middle of winter, if the power goes out and your house gets cold, this is the reason that I'm bringing this up, is because I was going through some old pictures the other day on one of my old phones, trying to clear it out. And I found a picture of one of my old tanks that had it was just one red devil. It was a female red devil. It was one of those kind of like white, orange, blue morphs. Oh, she was gorgeous. And she was probably about 6 to 8 inches or so at the time. And I had raised her from like fry. A coworker at the time had brought it in specifically for me, and yeah, it was the only fish in the tank. Little wet pet, came and greeted me, loved her, she was great. Anyway, power goes out and I'm not home, and the temperature dropped. I had my battery backup going, but the temperature dropped too cold. And that's how I lost her, was the temperature drop. So how are you going to keep your tank from dropping temperature? That's difficult. Not gonna lie. The best thing that you can do is if you're there when the power goes out, that's ideal. If not, I mean, there's not a ton you can do about it. So if you're there, that's going to be the ideal situation. You get your battery backup, or your well, if you have a battery backup, your heater's running on it. Anyway, so you got your battery powered air pump, right? You're going to take a blanket or a comforter, the thicker the better, and you're just going to drape it over the tank and try to get or keep as much of the heat that's already in the tank. So as soon as you catch that, just go ahead and blanket it up. And that's honestly the most effective way I have found to keep it warm. And without any power. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's just basically like putting a coat on your tank. So, and you just got to do that as soon as you possibly can in that situation, so that you don't lose heat out of that. The more heat you retain up front, the longer that heat's going to last throughout, and the longer your tank's going to be okay through a power outage. So yeah, honestly, those are the three main things. It's simple, but you just have to actually go out and get these things to be prepared. It never fails. Our first power outage of the season, we always run out of battery operated air pumps, because everyone comes and grabs them, and then I'm out. and then people are looking for them. I don't have them. So best to be prepared and have this before it happens. And we actually sell 2 or 3 different types of battery backup. We also, Cobalt has a air pump that you can run off of a USB. So if you have a battery bank, you can plug this pump into the battery bank and run it. Plus, it's actually just a really good pump anyway. It's not a battery backup. You actually just plug it in, and that's your main pump. So that is actually a really good pump for you if you didn't want to run the battery backup and take a extra plug. You can just use a actual battery power or a battery bank in case of emergency and plug it in that way. So that's actually a really good idea. Just thought of that. And actually that's actually newer ish product out there. So if you haven't run into it yet, check it out. It's a pretty good pump. Let's see here. But yeah, I was going to jump into comments. Let me wrap this up first. Going everywhere. But yeah, so super simple. Battery backup, if you can get one, and if you think it's worth it. I think any tank's worth having a battery backup on it. You love these things. You work hard to create your environment. Let's make sure that if something bad happens, to have something to keep it running. If not, if a battery backup is not feasible, you can also do this in combination. If you're running your battery backup and your battery backup runs out of power, you're still going to need to go to plan B, which is using a battery operated air pump. And again, most of those are just going to plug into the wall. Once they sense the power has gone out, they kick the batteries on and are pumping air into your tank to keep that oxygenated. And those are the 2 general things. If it is cold out, take a comforter or 2 and toss that over your tank to keep the heat in. That way it doesn't get too cold if the power out is out for extended period of time. So that's my spiel. Let's jump into the comments, see what people have to say about that. And again, if you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you're just joining us, welcome. And if you haven't done so yet, please smash that subscribe button, also the like button. That's worth it too. And hit that bell notification. That lets you know every time we go live like this, and every time we post new content, which there will be new content posted at the end of this week. Look out for that. It's going to be another, I think it's going to turn into a TLDR video, even though I didn't set it up like one of my typical TLDR videos. That's where I just explain something that I see. Usually I'll find something that takes a long time for people on YouTube to talk about, and then I try to condense that into 5 minutes. That way you have all the information you need, and you don't have to go through, any unnecessary fluff. That's my goal with those anyway. So I think it's going to turn into one of those, but we'll see. And it's going to be about acclimating fish and the way we prefer to do that. So yeah, that should be good times coming up at the end of the week here. Yeah, talking about that one guy. Brandon Charmer and Lumberjack were being very sad about me talking about Ramona. That was her name, my red devil, that passed away because of a power outage, and it got too cold because I did have my my battery operated air pumps running on those, but it was too cold. Power was out like all day, and yeah, it was sad. It was very sad. I cried, not gonna lie. I cried over a fish, and I'm sure some of you watching have absolutely done the same. That was again, you raise a fish from fry. She was the only fish in the tank, and you get attached to a fish like that. Like that is one of my favorite setups for a tank. I don't even care what the fish is, unless it's a schooling fish. Don't do this. But a single fish in a tank, I love those setups. I'm a sucker for those kind of setups because I get involved with that one fish. I get personal with that one fish, like Ramona, my red devil, or I had a target puffer. That was probably my second favorite tank, and another one where I had a single yellow or a gold piranha. Yes, I know piranhas school, and golds should be able to do the same, but this one gold really didn't like his other two tank mates. So I went from 3 golds to 1 gold, and that was sad in itself, but I had this really cool gold piranha. It was awesome. And those have been some of my favorite tanks. So yeah, if you haven't tried it yet, sticking like a single fish, not even just a single species, a single fish. Try putting a single fish in a tank. And when you do that, you open yourself up to maybe even some more difficult or some more advanced level of care type of fish, because you're only focusing on that one fish. A prime example are puffers in that target puffer that I was talking about. They're going to just massacre any other fish that comes into that tank, no matter how big or small, because those chompers are just going to keep going through. But puffers are so intelligent, and their eyes move around, and you can feel their feelings. They show their feelings, and it's fun. You notice those kind of things when it's just the one fish in the tank. And yeah, that one guy says fish are pets too. Absolutely. You just get attached to these things, especially when they're like one of those personality fish, like a larger cichlid or a puffer or stingrays even. There's plenty that'll fall under the category of something that will get personal with you. And a lot of people just don't consider that. So if you haven't considered putting just one fish in a tank, go for it. Give it a shot. And if you don't like it, add more fish, unless that fish does not play along well with others. Let's see here. Lumberzack says, I had a red devil about 30 years ago. Great fish. Used to play filling the rock pits with them. Yeah. Ramona, my red devil, would dig pits constantly. We've had a few in the shop that will just take the gravel and put it all along the front of the tank in a big old wall. Like, don't look at me. This is my spot. You cannot see. You thought you were going to have a cool fish. No, you can't see me anymore. But yeah, they dig around a lot, which is part of the draw to them. I've heard of people actually like putting specific things in there for them to pick up and toss around and whatnot. That's been my word of the day, word of the stream, whatnot. Apparently that's another one I'm gonna have to get around. Been working on my ums and ahs, so apparently whatnot is my next one. All right, looks like I don't have any more questions, and I've gone over my spiel about what to do if the power goes out. Unless anyone drops any questions down there real quick, I think that's going to wrap it up. Again, I just wanted to show you our website. I said this when I discovered it. I discovered this live just now because I wasn't told in our meeting this morning. Not sure why, but if I'm not supposed to announce this, oh well, because it's live. But we now offer Neptune systems on our website. And that is brand spanking new. And I will get more information out on this on all of our other social media channels tomorrow, I imagine. But that is big news for us, finally jumping into more products. We did have just gift certificates up there. And this is going to expand a lot more. I believe the next one, brand we're going to be putting on here is going to be Bashi. Don't quote me on that, but that's what we've been discussing. A lot more is going on this, but I think that may be in the works next. That and our packs of aquascaping materials. Basically, we will take a picture of an aquascape that we've created, and then you buy that specific, like exactly what you see. We put it in a box, give you a little map of how to put it together, and send it to you. And it'll be a what you see, what you get kind of deco packages. So lots of things on the horizon for the website. We're very excited about that. Yeah, there's I forgot to tick you over here. But there's our shop. There's the main site. You get into shop. You can either go to gift certificates or hang out in the Neptune systems section. Ta-da! Very, very exciting business right there. Yeah, I think that's going to cut it. That one guy still on the hunt for green swordtails for my Passionis. Really, I feel like I've seen a few in the mix, and if I see any this week, I will definitely hit you up and let you know about it. But I want to say they've sent us like one or two at a time in the assorted swordtail mix. So I'll keep checking in on that for you, because if we haven't gotten them for you yet, it's because they haven't been specifically available as green swordtails, and we've only gotten in like a couple at a time. So maybe I will nudge them that if you're willing, we can probably get them to you a few at a time as we find them in the mix. But they're not always in the mix. So that's just like, working on it. Brandon Charmer, do you have a favorite tank lid? I broke one of my glass lids for my 55, so I need a new one. Didn't know if I should buy another glass or if anyone has something they like better. No, go with glass. The only other stuff out there is just the plastic stuff, and that's not the best. Glass is just easier to clean. And I always the bad part about this is that if you want something other than what they put out there, you're gonna have to make it yourself, because like Perfecto, Aquion, which is Marineland brand, Aquion, they all have slightly separate sizes, and they do this on purpose, and it's super aggravating. That way you can't use their glass tops on a different tank, which always runs into the problem of like, well, I got my tank used, or it's been so long I forget what brand it is, and there's like no defining mark to tell you what's what, so you like, I think it's this, and you get the one top. Anyway, off discussion. But yes, if there's, you're going to have to do something custom if you don't want exactly that. But the best thing on the market right now to fit, to go on top of your tank are the glass tops. You get it customizable that way as far as what else you do with it, as far as your lighting and canopies and things of that nature. It's super easy to clean. But yeah, the downside is that they can break. They are glass. But you can, they even have replaceable parts like the back strip that you cut out for all your parts and pieces. The hinges even can be replaced. We do carry all that in the store if you ever need to get that done. But yeah, as far as putting something on the top of the tank, go with a glass top, and you are kind of stuck with what the manufacturers offer, or what that specific brand offers for their tank. Otherwise, you're looking at something custom like acrylic or plexi or something like that. But again, you're building that yourself and having it cut. And you can come in and grab those hinges and the back strips. I do have those that you can, if you wanted to make it out of a different material, but don't have access to those things. I've got plenty of them. So that's an option for you. Okay, that one guy, feet at a time, fine with me. Excellent. May have to take you up on those hinges. Cool, branded charmer. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got actually. Well, I've got you on the line. Make sure I have them in stock. Hinged replacement canopy hinge. Yeah. I've got a couple hinges in stock. Cool. So yeah, drop them by, pick them up. So again, I have those hinges and the back strips if you need them. And yeah, that one guy, I will let him know that doing a couple at a time is fine by you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure as always. If you want to catch the room tours on Thursday, head over to our Facebook page. And if you haven't done so, give that a like. That way you will be notified when we go live. We do room tours and go over the entire freshwater and saltwater rooms so you can see all of the new fish coming up. We will be back here next Monday at 4:30 my time. Again, really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe and like button, and we will see you next week. Bye.